bulking and off-season in general, is this really actually needed? That's going to be the topic for today. By the way, my name is Boris Kish and welcome to the channel. Again, I'm going to give you my personal opinion and my examples from my bodybuilding history. When I was young, I read all those old bodybuilding magazines because back then we didn't have YouTube like we have today and Instagram. We had maybe some DVDs that we had to find out how to get, and as I said, bodybuilding magazines. And therefore I thought that bulking and going into the off season is something that we must do. It's something that I had to do, and that this is necessary if you want to put additional amount of high quality muscle that you can later cut down and show them pretty much easily on the contest or wherever you want to present your physique, or if you're doing it just for yourself. And I mean, this video is mostly for young bodybuilders who are starting their journey, who want to compete, but also I would say that this video is for people who are doing who are working out for the recreational purposes and who still do not know what's the right thing to do. Again, I'm not going to tell you what's the right thing to do. This is up to you. You have to listen to your intuition. But I'm going to tell you what definitely worked for me and what didn't. So you might find your proper solution here. So in the off season, or as today is very modern and popular to say, bulking, I was putting as much weight as I could possible. I was measuring myself like a maniac, like I'm completely obsessed, every morning and even evening on the scale, sometimes during the day. It was that serious, and I was really a slave to the scale, as I would like to say, and I had my goal, like, let's go up to 120 or 130 kilograms, and then this is definitely going to put equal amount of muscle size on my physique that I'm going to present on the next contest. So I was eating, of course, high quality food, but I was cheating every day, and I was just putting as much food in myself as I possibly could, and I felt sick, by doing that. I mean, it was very nice after the contest, let's say for maybe first couple of weeks, and then it was above my head. And I was doing that, let's say, for 6, 7, 8 months before the next season. And I put it 20, 30 kilograms, and I got bulky everywhere. Yes, I got the decent amount of strength, and I thought, oh my God, I put it 30 kilos in this off season. Now when I cut down, I will cut down maybe 5 to 10 kilos. This is just a little bit of fat and water. When I go on the stage, I will destroy them all. Nobody is going to be as good as I'm. Look at me. And that's definitely what happened. When I started cutting from all that weight, 5 kilos I lost. I mean, nothing happened. 10 kilos I lost, nothing happened. I think I was speaking about this in one of my previous videos, but I want to give you a even bigger and more precise picture. I mean, as I said, overall, I lost almost everything that I gained. So from those 30 kilos, maybe 2, 3, 4, maximum 5 kilos of high quality muscle remained, but it took me, what I'm pretty sure that I didn't mention before in my videos, it took me 3 times more effort. That fat that got under my skin was extremely stubborn. I had to do cardio twice a day for 45 minutes, sometimes even an hour twice a day. I was losing a lot of muscle mass, even when I took everything that I took from anti-catabolics, not to lose that muscle mass, but I felt very drained. My preparation period didn't took 12, 40, 16 weeks as usual. It took more than 20. I was very flat on the contest. I pretty much was heavier, but I looked completely exhausted because of that high intensity preparation, and overall it was not worth it, because I was looking at those. I don't know, did somebody saw those pictures of Lee Priest where he's eating the full bucket of KFC chicken that I saw back in the days? And by the way, I'm a huge fan of Lee Priest. I really like Lee Priest and his physique, despite the fact that he's much shorter than I am, and neither am I comparing myself with him. I mean, he was like my hero back at the day when it comes to bodybuilding, but he was bulking up very dirty, and I saw his picture where he's completely almost like obese in off season, and when he was stage ready he was unbelievable, as he always was, even today with more than 50 years old. And I thought, okay, this is the way how to do it. And it didn't work for me. Again, I'm not saying that Lee Priest did it wrong. I just want to say that I don't have that crazy, unbelievable genetics as he did. And with all the chemistry that I put it in myself, the results were not even close. So what is the conclusion to all of this? What I learned? What is the thing that I want to share with you? And how do I really want to help you? I learned, and I can put my hand into the fire by telling you this, that there is no bulking, by my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. I'm somebody who is doing this sport more than 20 years. And I'm telling you really from the heart what I really think. So there is no off-season and no bulking, as a lot of bodybuilding IBB pro coaches are telling today, that I really respect a lot. If you don't, and this is something that also 8-time Mr. Olympia Lee Haney said, if you don't see your abs in the off season, and there is also not off season, there is, but let me tell you how I see it. If you don't see abs in the off season, you're definitely doing it wrong. That doesn't mean that you have to be obsessed and that you always have to be super lean and super cut in the off season. No, you have to find macros that are, keeping you in order, where you're not getting huge amount of fat and water in the off season, where you can still, look like a bodybuilder. You know how a bodybuilder is supposed to look, tiny waist, bright shoulders, round muscle bellies, visible abs. This is how a bodybuilder is supposed to look, not like a power lifter or strongman. Without any disrespect to those sportsmen, I really like them. I like to watch those competitions, but this is completely opposite from bodybuilding when it comes to both visual and physical performance. Therefore, you should always be focused on improving your strength in the gym. That's what matters, and there you will see how much are you progressing. I mean, if you are working out, let's say for 2, 3, 4, 5 months with the same amount of weight in the gym, and you're putting size on the scale on your body, that definitely that size aren't muscles. Let's be honest. And this is what happened to me. So that way, the weight is actually supposed to be your enemy. I mean, it's not. It's showing you the clear picture, but it depends, are you able to see it or not. So look, did you improve overall with your strength performance? And measure yourself, measure your arms, legs, and the most important thing, measure your waist. If let's say you got 1 centimeter on your biceps, but you got 5 centimeters on the waist, then this is not equally good progress. You should pretty much always keep waist in a good shape, and you're not supposed to get more down here than up here and on the legs and everywhere else. Again, that doesn't mean that you have to be obsessed. When you're not in the season, when you're not preparing for the contest, yes, you can cheat. Of course you can cheat. You can go to KFC and eat something from time to time. You can have a dessert, you can have a burger, you can drink Coca-Cola if you really like it. But I would suggest then you have a really fantastic and great workout after that where you can burn all those unnecessary calories. But that doesn't mean that you have to put everything that comes to your hand. You understand? That doesn't mean that you need to cheat every day, whole day. So pretty much eat clean also in the off season. Look that your power improves, that your strength improves, and then just move the sufficit that you saw that works for you and that's not putting you additional weight that you don't need. Just move that line always a little bit and then follow the progress. Don't say, okay, now it's, off season and when you go to a restaurant on a McDonald's, when they ask you what would you like to eat, everything that you have is not supposed to be your answer. And this is really, really what worked for me. And also I did a lot of cardio in the off season, again, to maintain the shape. So it's much better even if you put 2 kilos of muscle mass per year. Hopefully you put more than 30, and then when you cut, you have actually only one that you got. And I can guarantee you that it's harder to put 2 kilos of muscle mass, even with steroids, on your body, especially if you're experienced, if you have some kind of past by using PADs, before then losing 20 kilos of fat. So if your goal is to have a good health and good look, there is a much better way how to bulk and how to go into the off season. The point of all of this is not to eat more, but actually to know what you're eating and how much stuff you're putting in your body. And the smartest way is the way that you don't have to fix and correct afterwards, as I was explaining in this video. Put your comments in the comment section. Tell me what you like about this. Please like and subscribe if you like what I told you today, and write me what would you like me to talk about to you in the next video. Till next time, bye.